was worth a shot, right? My God. Man, that Shilajit smells like wood. Smells like wood. Oh, mercy. Mercy me, mercy my. What's up, America? Well, letting the music just play. What's up, Nana? And we've got yet another reason that we're hearing to delete TikTok as Israelis Unit 8200. What's up, Meep? Has now taken over trust and safety of the app. Everybody is seemingly leaving TikTok. What's up, BG? TikTok told me a second time today they will not be restoring my account. What's up, Ruthie? But it's okay because everybody's seemingly running away from TikTok like their hair is on fire. What's up, Meep? How you doing? What's up, Nana? What's up, Ruthie? What's up, BG? So, what's up, Dave? So let's talk about this because this is part of the news. Before I get into the other news of us blowing up Iran, which is coming up shortly, at least seemingly. So the first thing I want to talk about, what's up, America, is it's looking, thank you, BG, yeah, it's looking like people are leaving TikTok and heading to an app called Upscrolled. It's an Australian app that doesn't pay people, but it focuses on free speech. Now, I've never downloaded it, but TikTok is now off the top downloads on the Apple Store and has now been replaced by Upscrolled. What's up, Brad? So, what's up, Anthony? People are leaving TikTok for a variety of reasons. So, earlier yesterday, I believe it was, people found that if they typed the word Epstein, what's up, B Vance? What's up, Brad? If they typed the word Epstein into comments, at least for a time, it was blocking the word. Then they found out that the trust and safety director of TikTok is Israeli intelligence. Unit 8200 of the Israeli intelligence force, the Israeli version of the NSA, is now that they're in charge of trust and safety and moderation on TikTok. So obviously, I had a couple of choice videos that were anti-Trump. Most of them were positive for Trump. And I had a couple of anti-Israel videos. Well, that's enough to be able to throw me the fuck off. So everybody is saying, have you deleted the TikTok app yet? Now, obviously, I make archaeology videos over there also, very benign. But most people are going to an app now called Upscrolled. And so the general thought of it looking like is that people will go there. It'll remain unmonetized for several months, maybe a year, until advertisers leave this app for that app and then start filling that with money from creators that left TikTok. So that's fantastic. Everybody's leaving for YouTube or Upscrolled or Instagram. Even Conservative Ant and Epic. Oh, no shit. Hell yeah, Jeremy. What's up, Marine? What's up, Proud Boy? So most people have already said they're going to Upscrolled is the app people are leaving to. I'll probably download one and try it there. They don't pay anybody, but at the same time, there's very little censorship. And so most people are deleting TikTok because the Israeli intelligence arm of the Unit 8200 or 8400, is it 8200? Is now running TikTok. So just remember that der Juden ist running TikTok. Jawohl. Ja, das Juden. Ja, und TikTok. Das ist nicht sehr gut. So that being the case, I urge everybody to fuck off on that one. Obviously, the Israeli government won't fuck with me on my Sup America account. Well, I don't know, because I'm only talking archaeology, but at the same time, kind of fuck it. So it's been a weird week. What's up, Grim? It's been a weird week. There's been, what's up, Allie? There's been a lot of snow days and all this other crap that have been coming up. Not bad. We've got some news to talk about here. And other than the Israeli NSA or their version taking over TikTok, that's absolutely sad to see. On top of that, excuse me, what's up, New Mexico? One thing that California Governor Gavin Newsom has finally done. Dave, I'm right there. I was right there with you, man. California is now opening an investigation on TikTok for censorship. So even the state of California, even Governor Gavin Newsom, that piece of shit, is saying, hey, these fuck faces are going a little too far. And so California is investigating TikTok for overt censorship as well. People are sick of it. They're done. They're done with TikTok for the most part. And this is basically the final nail in the coffin. A lot of people have made a great deal of money off of it, but people are not happy with the leadership. What's up, America? They're not happy with the censorship. You can only treat someone so bad for so long. What's up, Natural? In an abusive style relationship before people end up leaving, and that's what we're doing here. What's up, KCC? So I urge everybody to leave TikTok unless you're a niche creator of some kind with like travel or whatever. Come over to YouTube. Come over to, it looks like Upscrolled. That'll be the next one we're doing. Don't really care for the name, but whatever, right? It's better than Clapper. Good God. You got the clap? You guys have the clap? Anyway, so let's get into the news. Republicans are now coming for Stephen Miller. Obviously, ICE has left Minneapolis, or will be. Donald Trump is now rattled with the lowest. What's up, SLD? How you doing? With the lowest polling since he was in office. Local officials are saying if you see ICE officers to call the police. And it looks like people are pissed off now because another guy was shot out in Arizona and a disabled man dies alone after his illegal alien caregiver has been detained. Oh, I'm sorry. Disabled man 30 dies alone after his caregiver father is detained by ICE. So Will Terbishi, age 30, with a rare condition, has passed away weeks after his beloved father, primary caregiver and constant life companion, was taken into ICE custody. The man with serious disabilities passed away because he didn't have anybody there to take care of him. He died Friday from complications to Pompe disease. Never heard of that? Yes, I did see that, Natural Beauty. Now, to be fair, there is evidence coming out here. So we'll talk about that here in a minute, because I went on like an hour expose about, like 3 or 4 days ago on the shooting, and I had it like frame by frame. Wish you were here. That was a good one. But anyway, there's now evidence, well, not evidence, it's just video that's come out showing Alex Pretty, the guy that was killed by ICE officers. This was 11 days before the attack, and it shows him kicking an ICE vehicle and spitting on agents. Okay. Now, we have these clues, but we also know that the guy was disarmed. So we all went over the footage. The girl that was shot in the car, that's whatever. You can kind of piecemeal that all you want. This particular case with Alex Pretty, they disarmed the guy and then shot him to death. That's basically apparent. I don't know how it's not. And so the guy had 2 magazines plus a Sig Sauer. I think, was it a 9mm on him? Is that what it is? And so the fat guy in the gray jacket comes over and takes the guy's gun. Another magazine falls out after the second magazine was taken. And then they basically, and I went over this, the one guy that pulled his gun on Alex Pretty and stuck it to his back, here about where his lung area was. He had his hand like this. When you hold a firearm, you're supposed to hold it like this. So you hold the gun and you hold your index finger, your trigger finger. You don't touch the trigger. You have the trigger on the side of the gun, which is called a NATO hold. So you'll notice, damn, nice ass, baby. Oh. So anyway, when you hold a gun, you're supposed to, you don't hold it on the trigger like this. That's retarded. You'll shoot somebody or yourself. So you hold a gun like this so that your trigger is not here unless you're committed to firing it. What I saw was the agent pull his gun and he had his finger on the trigger. So he put the gun to Alex Pretty's back. And when they nudged him, tussling, his finger went boom, boom. He shot him once in the back, boom. And then they backed away and you heard boom, 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 and they shot him 11 more times. Now, this is why you don't put your hand on the trigger, because it only takes on a single action or double action between 2.5 and 5 to 6 pounds of pressure to pull that trigger. So I think if it's is it a double action, it takes more pressure than if it's a single action. I can't remember my terminology right away. But yeah, I understand that too. But you don't pull a firearm and touch the trigger initially. And so if you take out a firearm and you put it to his back, you hold it like this with your finger extended. Our average is 3 pounds. And why do you do that? Because if I'm holding the trigger and I get nudged by violent fighting like they were doing, that nudge is enough to boom, and then you shoot the guy. And then, of course, what happens when a firearm goes off and you're surrounded by 10 or 7 men? It boom, and then everybody backs up. Boom, 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 boom. Because the objective after a firing of discharge is to, at least the thought process is to take out the threat. Now, they disarmed Alex Pretty. However, they thought probably he had a second gun. Even though the agent, in my opinion, not even misfired. You had your finger on the trigger and you held the gun to a person. Any tussling will make your finger move in. 2, 3, 5 pounds of pressure, there goes a round. That's all it takes. And that's what we're seeing here. That was was it an accident? Was it purpose? I don't believe it was on purpose. The other 11 shots hitting the guy and killing him, that was on purpose. But the initial gun to the back and the discharge, I think it was just an idiot, not even an idiot, a reactionary person that didn't know how to handle either the stress or the combat situation. It happens. People fucking at friendly fire all the time. The way I believe it really was not even an accident. The reason I believe that is because, and I've showed this already, the ICE agent that put his hand to the back, or he put his gun to the back of Alex Pretty. He had his weapon here with his finger on the trigger. His guy that was arresting Alex Pretty was on the other side of that flight trajectory of the bullet. You see what I'm saying? So if the agent has his gun up against Alex Pretty's back like this, and there's another agent in front arresting the guy, if I discharge that weapon, the bullet could go through Alex Pretty's body into my agent friend in front of me. So not only did that guy kill, or at least discharge, the firearm that initially shot Alex Pretty, but he also endangered another officer in front of him. So that guy was a reckless loose cannon. And he had no business putting the firearm. And I know what you're saying, well, you should. The approach doesn't matter. The fighting, they're dumping salt, really? Nice. What matters is the control of the agent. Now, the one girl that tried to run over the agent, that was in Minneapolis, Renee Good, she lurched the vehicle forward. Now, it could have been avoided without the agent in front of the vehicle. Nevertheless, the lurch forward got a couple of rounds. So we can debate all day about that. This other case with Alex Pretty, this is a dangerous situation here. The reason that this is a dangerous situation is because, one, if the Department of Homeland Security, CBP, what's up, Tracy, whatever it is, finds that they were in good standing shooting the guy because of an accidental or even a tussle and discharge, then we have a whole other thing of looking over due process or looking over the realities of safe gun control, basically saying you have immunity even murdering somebody. Now, this is where I have a problem. I don't believe police should be immune from things. This whole qualified immunity bullshit is garbage. Oh, that's what I just talked, a minute ago, where Alex Pretty was spitting on the people and then kicking the car. Subsequently, almost wearing the same clothing, by the way, that he was killed in, which is fucked up in its own right. So he was an activist. He was a dangerous man. Did he deserve to have an initial shot without any reason? No. That's the situation here. It doesn't, I don't care if he was a neo-Nazi. I don't care if he was a Stalinist. I don't care if he was a socialist that was giving people death threats. This is not about him. This is about the agents. This is about the reckless behavior of the agents. You had 5 men tussling with this guy, and you discharged a weapon at that range with another officer. I mean, a bullet goes through a body very quickly. So like when you have a gun up to someone's back, that bullet will go right through. I mean, your point blank range, you're going to hit your dude in the dick or whatever it is. That is not good training at all. You do not fire a weapon, even if another person is in the field of fire, unless you're taken hostage and you fucking think you got the shot and you're just that fucking good, which this guy was not, clearly. So, now, was he armed? Yes, he was. Did he have a legal right to carry a gun? Same as you. That's correct. That's correct. So, my whole thing on it is I'm in the camp where I don't want illegal aliens to be taking my money, but I also am not cool with giving police the power to do anything. All right? I have always been an anti-police brutality advocate. Always have been since I was 16 years old, and I'm 43. So I can differentiate political nonsense from a guy being killed by basically reckless stupidity. And that's what this was. Now, people are trying to piecemeal this, saying, oh, ICE agents were threatened. Well, you know what? It's kind of reminding me of LeBron James when he got a foul. Somebody barely touches him, and he, whoa! You know what I'm talking about? One of those type of things where someone comes up and they go, and you go, whoa! And you fall over and you make it 55 times. Yeah, I'm not 53, fuckface. I'm 43. Suck my dick. And so that's what that is. And when I look at it, I say, okay, they probably could have handled the situation better. Several agents need to be dismissed. Criminal charges, I don't know what the immunity limitations, this, that, or but the agents, and this is the same with a lot of cops, where they'll be like, oh, I hurt my wrist, and you'll see on the news an officer was severely injured in stable condition, and he has like a sprained wrist from an accident. And it's like, you see, this is the thing. You gotta quit giving every cop a leeway pass to do whatever the fuck they want to do. At the same time, you gotta quit giving activists a free pass to do everything they need to do. Damn right, damn right, more than 47 days. Hell, I would say 180 for this type of shit. TikTok banned me, and I found out everybody's leaving anyway. But yes, everybody in America is allowed to own a gun. Well, unless you're I guess a felon. Isn't that what it is in some cases? You want to smoke that heavily concentrated joint, my love? So we can go about this back and forth arguing on whether ICE was okay because he lurched a certain way. Yeah. I personally don't believe all officers deserve all immunity. But that's all irrelevant horse shit. What is relevant horse shit is what is the aftermath of this when it's not cold outside. What's up, Andrew? That's what it is. What is the aftermath of this? Is it a civil war? Is it a summer and spring of never-ending protests? Is it something that just goes away and the Democrats win the midterms? Is it something that is profound, that never fucking ever stops talking, that this is like a January 6th thing for Democrats, so in 2036 we're still going to be hearing about this? That's kind of what I'm on about. Or are they just going to bury it like they did Ashley Babbitt? So what are we doing here? Silver Lake Bite Dance. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. They have gotten way more heavy with the censorship. So my whole thing is, there's really two ways this ICE shit can go. Let me see your letter real quick. We could either go into a violent summer, potential civil war. I don't know if you can, I do. Or it fizzles out and they just try to impeach everybody that's in charge. Because you guys know, and this is the problem I have with everything. When Democrats take power again, they're just going to do the same shit everybody was mad about. So this is why I don't like Democrats or Republicans, but I'm going to focus on Democrats in this case. When Trump is out of office, and when inevitably one of your guys wins for president, you're going to ignore the 50% of people that didn't like what you were doing. And that's what bothers me. Because instead of saying, I'm a Democrat and 50% of the country doesn't like me, so instead of saying we need to make peace and kind of come together, you're just going to say, fuck the Republicans, they're all MAGA. And then you're just going to be Joe Biden on steroids. But that's not good. What's up, Woodsman? It's not good to just go back. I hate to break it to every liberal out there. Obama wasn't as good as you think. Obama was a personality with no substance. Trump is substance with no personality. But Democrats shut him down, and not just Democrats, companies, lobbyists. There's so much. When Democrats initially take power again, I don't want what it was like, but they don't seem to understand that. So any Democrat that's out there, when you inevitably win again after Trump leaves, what's up, Ruthie? I don't want Biden shit or Obama shit, any of that crap. Because Obama was not good. His vision was trash. Biden's an idiot, and Trump's vision is that of an empirical one. The vision of America is, I want my money worth more. I want to pay less. Thank you, BG. I don't want to deal with government oversight, overreach, telling me what to do. And I'm sure sick of the fucking back and forth where liberals can do whatever they want, up to and including killing or threatening to kill somebody. but Republicans can't do anything. It's very clear. It's very apparent that the media, the mainstream media, the news, social media companies, every one of them is left-leaning. And it's very clear that your moderators and your staff are geared towards shutting down right-wing speech you don't like. You can see there's violent left-wing speech, no problem at all. Violent right-wing speech must be shut down in your memory or your eyes because you don't believe your speech is wrong. You only believe one side is okay. And this is why people are done with you. This is why people hate the left, but it's also a reason why they hate the right. The right is viewed as weak, sellouts, going against the poor, your mother, that type of shit. By the way, I like Eastern Orthodox Christianity. Here you go. Or Russian Orthodox, all nice. So the question is, how do we get people to stop being retarded? That's where I'm kind of headed at here. What's up, man? How you doing? How you doing, one? Just watch Fox. So it's like we got to say, okay, the liberals are not in charge or should not be in charge of anything regarding speech because they're too reactionary. Republicans should never be in charge of anything helping the poor or social safety networks. The liberals should never be in charge of anything regarding guns. And the Republicans should never be in charge of anything regarding health care, but neither should the liberals. So there's certain things that we have to step away from. And this requires a discipline coming from the liberals and the conservatives. But it will never happen because liberals want a W. And we've talked about this, what's going to happen. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, dude, absolutely. So you're going to have the Republicans retreat like their tail is between their legs. They're not going to help any poor people. Spoiler alert. But the liberals will tell you they're going to help people, and they won't do shit for you. They'll just lie to you and tell you next time we'll help. They've been saying it since Bill Clinton was in charge. I'm 43. I know these things. So we can either listen to the liberals lie, we can listen to the conservatives crush you underfoot, or we can make up an evolved third party. But I know nobody will. So I actually urge people, this next election, don't vote. Don't even give them the time of day anymore. Fuck these idiots. What do you want me to tell? Oh, you want me to tell you to go out there and vote for what? Gavin Newsom or J.D. Vance? Are you kidding me? Gavin Newsom and his crew, because, I mean, if you look up the latest polling, Gavin Newsom is ahead double of anybody else, and J.D. Vance is ahead triple of anybody else. So we already see how this is shaping up. We're not retarded. We know what's going to happen here. We know it's going to be a J.D. Vance style versus a Gavin Newsom style. It's going to be a neo-MAGA versus a California socialism. And they are both going to be trash. Because MAGA was electrified by Trump. It doesn't hold on its own. Make America Great, or I should say America First, holds on its own, but not the MAGA movement. However, the liberal movement is curtains. They're now socialists. And so you're already seeing Mom Donnie in New York City, that one inept piece of shit out in Seattle, couple other places. Oh, dude, at least Tracy. And so when you're looking at these groups, you say, well, the writing's very clear. Either, yeah, and then Islam, exactly, 100% Indiana Jones. You damn right. That's a big point we need to get to. And so you have the liberal world order, which is a mix of European style, we're racist cucks that need Islam to come in and tell us how to live because of their skin and religion. Or you have the failing Democrat Party that sits there and pretends to the Chuck Schumers, what's that other piece of shit, Hakeem Jeffries. Then you have the Republicans with the turtle, Mitch McConnell, the Mitt Romneys, those fucking douchebags. Yeah, nobody wants any of that garbage, but they keep putting them up. Nobody wants a Rick Scott. Nobody wants a Mitch McConnell. Nobody wants a Nancy Pelosi. People barely wanted AOC. People barely wanted Josh Hawley. Then people wanted a fucking Rand Paul until they found out all the money from Venezuela he was getting. None of these fuck faces are good for you. None of them. They're all garbage. They all suck dick. So, that being the case, and knowing what they are, you're still going to vote for these fuck faces. Should McConnell? No, that pile of shit's still somehow alive. Or at least some semblance. What's up, America? How you doing, Nick Nico? And so we say, how do we get away from this shit? Well, you need to literally throw these fuck faces out and get all new politicians. And you need to term limits. You need to make lobbying illegal. Term limits on the Supreme Court as well. These are things you need to initiate. And until you do any of that, there's nothing that's going to happen. Nothing will ever work out unless you initiate those things. Term limits, lobbying illegal, end income tax for people under 150 grand. Get rid of property taxes. These are not difficult things, but there's no way that conservative moderates, exactly, or social libertarians, hey, but there's no way to make it happen because the lobbying and the companies and the BlackRocks and the Vanguards and the Davos and the fucking WEF and the IMF and the Club of Rome or the Council of Rome, all this type of shit, there's not much you can do, right? Because you're just a guy or just a girl. There's nothing you're going to do. What's up, New York City? I love New York City. And so when you come up to the next election, like the midterms are going to the Democrats. I keep saying it and I'm going to keep saying it. And everybody, I've had death threats for saying it, and fuck you, because I'm not an idiot. And I know I can already see it's January and I know that you're going to lose. I know the midterms are going to be lost by Republicans in November. It is not hard to see. You cannot stop unless you give $10,000 checks to 80% of America. No shit, half. So, and why is that? Well, the Republicans. So, I'll just ask everybody a question. Why did Trump win hell yeah, my friend. Damn right. We got the indica double concentrate tonight. Why did Donald Trump win? All right. Not the first time. I don't give a shit about the first time. That's irrelevant. COVID came in, whatever. Why did Donald Trump win the second time? Was it because he was that fucking good? Or was it because of people could not afford life? And Kamala Harris acted like she was Biden number 2. The reason Donald Trump won is only a twofold reason. Americans were sick of paying double under Biden. They knew the whole bullshit was a scam. Kamala Harris sucked. And Trump said, if you don't run me, I will run as a third party and you will lose. So Donald Trump held the Republicans hostage, and the American people voted away from Biden. Remember, everybody, 43% of America still was going to vote for Biden's bullshit. So I don't want you going out here thinking that everybody's intelligent. 43% of the country wanted more double prices. More double prices. Remember that. 43% of the country said, hey, I'm so stupid, I want to pay $1 million for a house. Fuck $500,000. Let's get 4 more years of that. Let's pay $8, $10. Hey, I can walk to work with my Studebakers. Yeah. No, both political parties are dog shit. So it doesn't matter what if you like Trump or not, it's irrelevant. This is it. This is it on the Trump right here. January 2029, that's it. Zip it up, pull the dick in, Trump's done. It doesn't matter if you hate him, you love him, you wished he got AIDS. It doesn't matter what it is. Died in the plane crash, became Julius Caesar. Does not matter what you want. In 2029, he's gone. Thomas Massie, I need to learn a little more about him. Now, when Trump's gone, what happens to every long-term leader that leaves? Trump was a split term, so it's only happened with James A. Garfield, if I recall. But that being the case, what happens? What happened after Biden left? What happened after power vacuum? And who wins in a power vacuum? The opposite choice, no matter who you run. Clinton leaves, a Republican wins next. Bush leaves, a Democrat wins next. Obama leaves, Republican won again. See how this works? It's not hard to figure out. Because 8 years, either you're a god or you're a shit. And most politicians are a shit. Grover Cleveland, thank you. Did I say James A. Garfield?
I don't know.
I knew he had a G in his name. It's been a long time. So, what?
This person just keeps on saying now.
Yeah, let him do it.
Oh, I just blocked him.
Damn it. Don't block that spam. It removes the people. Anyway, I love you. This ain't TikTok, baby.
People will start getting 16 minutes up.
Well, whatever. Anyway, bottom line is, after Trump leaves, after Trump's over with, J.D. Vance, as much as you like him, is not electric like Trump. All right? And Newsom, I know it sucks. This is weed. The reason Newsom can win, I didn't say he would, or whoever runs as a Democrat, it depends on how the Democrat socialists do. You say, are you really? What do you mean? What do you mean? The Democrat socialists, no, fuck TikTok. I mean, I do an archaeology page there. Sup America. It's my other page. It's got 70,000. It's just archaeology and history. I don't really do news. I don't do news over there. So when you look up J.D. Vance and you see Gavin Newsom. So in a poll, and I read this recently, a poll between the two, I think it was 4 months ago, had them tied. And that's a general election poll. Right now, you have, there's 5 polls that have been done on this. The one that was an Emerson poll in July had Vance higher by 3 points. In August, they were in a tie. And in September, Newsom was up by 8. Oh my God.
Why do you do this to yourself?
Oh my God. We got to that concentrate. See? That's the kill shot right there, ladies and gentlemen. Followed by this one right there. I got some mad-ass purple weed with these two styles. Hoo-wee! Hoo-wee, you good looking! That's right, you hot. That was on a movie called Face Off with Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. Which is funny because I think John Travolta is actually closeted gay. Just like Tom Cruise. Nevertheless, I coughed to get off, right? The last two polls were done by Morning Consult and Emerson. One was in October and one was in November, and they both had them at a tie. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you, Indiana Jones. Thank you, my friend. So now, why is that an issue? That's funny. Oh, thank you, Indiana. So the reason this is an issue is because we are currently, so just listen to this. We are 3 years out from the election. Isn't that what it is? Now, for more than 3 years?
No, less than 3 years.
Less than 3 years?
November of 2020.
Oh, he's already done a year, hasn't he? Yeah, okay. So that means 3 or 2.5, 3, whatever years out, we already have a tie situation. So the reason I'm bringing this up, and I do have a point for all this, by the way, is Donald Trump's latest polling figures are now the lowest they've ever been, even including the first election. Now, Donald Trump's polling numbers, I believe, are down to like a 33 or 32%. And so when I look at that, I see a couple of things when it comes to data. I see Democrats at a steady, not gaining, but not lowering their numbers. But I see people leaving Republicans to be independents. And when you have people leaving to be independents, what does that mean in a two-party system? That means that some people will still vote for Republicans, but others will shift their votes on purpose, and they have no choice because there is no real third party, so they will vote Democrats. And so you will have Republicans leaving because MAGA's gone, figuratively speaking, repatriating back to Democrats that were what were called Bernie bros. During the first election, these were people that wanted Bernie Sanders to win, and they got fucked over by Hillary Clinton being installed for them. So they voted for Trump out of revolt, basically. So those people are still around, but they're not going to vote. They did the MAGA thing because they were pissed off at Democrats. They've had enough of it. 8 years gets you enough of anybody. I don't care. Oh, yeah, Nana, are you okay? Yeah, definitely. I guess I didn't ask. So now we pull this, all that information I just told you. It's like a 33% approval rate, all that shit with Newsom, J.D. Vance. Now we look at a 2026 congressional vote, a generic poll of 40 different polls, the average being Republicans down to 41.3%, with Democrats at 46%. Now, that is almost a 5-point, isn't that a 4.3% spread? So, Trump's favorability is now an unfavorable 53%, favorable 43.3. Republican Party favorability, 53.2 with 40% unfavorable. But listen to this. This is the only saving grace for Republicans. So I'm not trying to shit on your Republican parade. Democrat favorability is only 35.8. with unfavorable at 56.2. So it's only a 3% difference between Republicans and Democrats, but Democrats have to work 3 to 5% harder to overtake Republicans. Did I say that right? Yeah. So Democrats are losing but stable. Republicans are higher but losing. You see what I'm talking about? And the generic congressional vote has Democrats at 46%, Republicans at 41.3%, a difference of, is that 4.7%? Right? So nearly 5% difference. That nearly 5% difference means that you will be losing 15 to 17 House members and is it 5 congressmen or 5 senators? What's wrong?
She said she was one of 100 people worldwide ever known to be born with 3 kidneys.
Really? No shit. Can I damn. Well, I got to tell you, man, if something happens to me, I'm going to have to borrow one of those. Anyway, however, Donald Trump's job approval rating, and this is the latest Fox News poll, so take that with a grain of salt, has Donald Trump 12 points higher than disapproval, which is the exact opposite of what the congressional polling shows, which is fascinating. It's almost like the Fox News and the rest of the world are at totally different ends of the spectrum. And that's because of who they poll and ask. We have the generic congressional vote has Democrats almost 5 points ahead. Now, this should irritate you somewhat. Gavin Newsom for the Democrats. So this is the Democrats. 24.4% want Newsom. 21.3% want Harris. Still. So Newsom is only 3.1% higher than Harris. I still like Canada. I've always liked Canada, except for Toronto. I'm not going to lie. I love Canada. Your food is better. I've eaten a lot of your food. You don't have the chemicals in it. Chocolate tastes fucking fire. I'm not in New York. I'm in Indiana. But Toronto sucks. I'm not going to lie. I have found nothing except a big-ass mall that was nice. The CN Tower looks cool. And I don't like the traffic. Like, I want to go to, like, Montreal, Quebec. I've been to Vancouver. Outside of the heroin addicts, it's a fantastic place. Gross Mountain, beautiful place. Carney guy is center right. Yeah, I was wondering about between him and the other guy. What was his name? The right-wing guy. It was Pierre, what's his face? Not Pierre Pinochet, god damn it. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I'm pissed off that they shot the ostriches. That's my answer to that. As an American, I'm pissed off that they shot the ostriches. I thought that was a bit overdoing it there, and I think that they were a little bit cocksucker about it. Like, they could have done it a different way. But they came in and they fucking, they whipped their dick out, the Mounties and all this other shit. They were fucking dickheads to that farm. That I know she was socially trying to put a spotlight on it. Let me just ask this. If you're in Canada, is Alberta going to break away? Is that real? Is that like real or is that bullshit? Because there was a lot of fucking people on X that were like, yeah, Alberta's going to be its own country. I'm like, no, they're not. What? Like, that'd be like saying Mississippi, outside of being almost its own country, is going to be its own country. Then it's like, if that happens, what do we do there? Like, what do you do if just like Alberta's like, fuck y'all? We're Alberta. We don't know what the fuck. But fuck both of you assholes. It's like, oh, well, my. Okay. So do we have trade negotiations with them? Do we just route through Canada anyway? Just pretend they don't exist? Like, what's the deal with all that? That, I mean, that is some, it's fascinating shit, but nevertheless, I like Canadian fish and chips. I lived in Australia. I like Anglican or Anglo culture. It's a shame everything's going to Middle Eastern value systems. The last time I was in Niagara Falls, I thought I was in fucking Doha, Qatar. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? I went to Niagara Falls a decade ago. French Canadian, very nice. I went to Niagara Falls a decade ago, and it was breakfast places, a casino, bunch of like Canada shit. I go there this last time, and it is like, I mean, it is like I am in fucking Rabat, or I'm in fucking Tunis or some shit like that. I'm like, I kind of liked the smug, anti-American, Canadian kind of way of doing things. Your weed's always good, fantastic. I don't like to haggle in a Western nation for products, first of all. Second of all, I don't speak Arabic. That's a problem. Third of all, like it seems, in my opinion, same with Western Europe, that like they matter more than the rest of the, like, hey, I'm in Ireland, but let's open a bunch of mosques. I'm like, didn't realize Ireland was Islamic. I always thought you were like Celtic and did the churches and the Catholic Protestant thing, getting shit-faced, fighting in a bar. You know, that type of culture. I didn't know you were smoking shisha and had fucking coffee shops everywhere. I didn't know that's what it was. I didn't go to Ireland to go to Saudi Arabia. I wanted to go to Ireland to go to Ireland. Right? I don't want to see the same fucking diarrhea everywhere I go. I don't necessarily want shawarma every fucking country I travel to. I want to be able to go to a country and there's no options other than that host's food. Right? And that's the thing. Like, you guys remember Anthony Bourdain? Does anybody remember? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm not a big, I don't have a, do you guys don't know who Christopher Hitchens was? I have like a Christopher Hitchens viewpoint with Islam. Right? Like, and I do believe in God, unlike Christopher Hitchens. So I do believe Jesus was God, but I have various non-biblical reasons I believe Jesus was God. Right? So like, I know, like a lot of people, I don't even like, I know, first of all, I know Jesus existed not because of the Bible, okay? I know Jesus existed because of extra biblical resources. So, like, I know about Pliny the Elder and Tiberius and several of the scribes that were Roman, the Arabs talking about it when Islam finally came around in 600 and 700, that he was a prophet, that he would also, I mean, there was a lot of points to it, lots of Jesus talk among the people. Celsius, 250 years after his death, was still mocking Jesus and his followers. These types of things point to the guy existing, because even in stories with Santa Claus, yeah, a lot of people talk about Santa Claus. I'm aware of that, but these are in theoretical context. No one ever talks about him outside of Saint Nicholas, the actual man, right? But Jesus as a figure, he had a location, where he was from, a mom and a dad, a lineage, a brother, people that followed, that died for him, that had personal stories and communications. Now, you get all those with myths anyway, but not as detailed in many cases, and not as many people writing about it. And then you say, well, what about the artifacts of Jesus? Surely a man that existed for so long would have at least left some belongings behind. And if you believe in some cases, he did. The crown of thorns, the nails, the pieces of the cross, his tunic, his death shroud, yada, yada, yada. What happened to Jesus' clothes? They gambled for him in front of him when he was dying. It clearly says that. A bunch of Roman soldiers, then they have dice. I'm an anthropologist. They have dice that were made by the Romans. They were gambling for his clothing. Why? Because a nice tunic cost a bunch back then. Of course you would do something like that. It's a little inappropriate, add it in front of him while he's dying, but that's what they did. But then you say, okay, well, there's not really a big relic grouping of Jesus that exists. And then I look and I say, okay, well, think about Gandhi, for instance. Gandhi was killed in what, 1946, 1948? All that remains of Gandhi is a spinning wheel, a pair of sandals, a glasses, and I think a bowl. And everything else of Gandhi's is non-existent. It never, so you wouldn't, and they burned his body. So you would never know the man actually existed ever outside of these very few relics, right? And so that being the case, nevertheless, that I'm getting on a tangent about Jesus existing and how he's God. I can believe that. I won't preach to you because I'm talking news. Maybe one day we'll go into that. But Islam, on the other hand, and I'll just try to channel as much of Christopher Hitchens as I can with this, is an Iron Age, barbaric, women-hating, misogynistic, grabastic bag mixed of three religions written together as if it's one. In my opinion, from a pedophilic class of nobility, possibly from a schizophrenic, that clearly was sexually motivated, specifically with what death brings, started over 80 wars. There were Arab scholars, very intelligent. I don't believe Muhammad was one of them, nor do I believe his lineage holds any value whatsoever. And I think the spread of the Sharia law system is, the spread of the Sharia law system is an absolute abomination for all of humanity. There is nothing good about it except for the oppression of the females, regardless of how tolerant you want to be. Your tolerance does not negate the fact that in Sharia countries like Afghanistan, they just legalized slavery again. You know that, right? In Afghanistan. So they just re-legalized slavery. Women are not allowed to look out windows now. They get shot, stoned, beaten, just like it was before the Americans came. They started executions in the stadium again in Kabul, like they used to. Nothing has changed here. So you can look at societies that are moderate Islam, like Qatar, Bahrain, UAE, Saudi Arabia in some aspects, even though they're not to their women. And you can say, well, no, this is the future of Islam. This is moderate Islam. But overall, the end result of this Islamic movement worldwide is the oppression of your culture and religious belief system. So when you say, I'm going to bring 10 million Islamic people into Europe, your notion is that they will live side by side in peace with you. That is a foolhardily intelligence. That is a logic that is not real. Not everybody, you have Christians, you have a Buddhist temple, you have a Hindu temple, and nobody attacks each other. That's the basis of those religions in many cases. Same with a synagogue and shit like that. Islam spreads through the sword. They openly admit it in their Quran. I've read the Quran. So you're dealing, it doesn't matter how peaceful you are. They don't give a fuck. Your peace is weakness. And your religion tells you to turn the other cheek. And rightly so. But if it becomes a suicidal tendency, like the band, then at what point do you stop the spread of Sharia law for your own living? So, do you want your women in drapes? Do you want your women in burqas? Do you want your women to not be able to go to school or work? Do you want to stone people? Do you want to kill your child if she's a whore because of honor? Do you want to charge or pay tax based? Do you want a jizya where you pay a jizya? So if you're a Jew and you pay to live there, you have to pay a tax. It's called a jizya, not a jizya, right? And that's what that is. So I do not care. And everybody says, well, Christianity, this, that. Christianity, and this is the difference, and this is what Christopher Hitchens talked about, is Christianity in the modern era is benign. So I don't give a fuck about Christianity's past. Christianity is benign. Buddhism is benign. Shintoism is benign. Zoroastrianism is benign. Catholicism, benign. Hinduism, for the most part, is benign unless somebody gets killed by a Muslim. But what's up, America? How you doing, Katie? Not all of it. But Islam is not a benign religion. It is. I was born in 1982. I have seen thousands of terrorist attacks. And I would say a good 95% of them are religiously motivated because of one group. Now, that's not singling out anybody. What that is perhaps you need to evolve your belief system. Christians did. Yeah, now you have Maoism. No shit. Christians evolved their religion. Christians said you can't inquisit anymore. You can't check to see if people, you can't, or witches and burn them at the stake. You can't fucking murder people because you don't like their belief system. That's now a fact. That's a rule. Thank you, Jesus. That's a rule. The likeness detection feature in your YouTube studio is no longer set for your channel due to a change in my eligibility. What is likeness detection? Well, hold on. YouTube turned off likeness detection? What are you talking about, bro? What the fuck are we doing here? Hold on a second. I don't understand what YouTube just did. Hold on. So they just told me that my likeness detection tool was turned off. Did I say something they didn't like off-site? Is that what it was? Oh, no. That's a shame, isn't it? I didn't mean to. I really liked YouTube. Or was that a TikTok email? That was a YouTube. Copyright match tool, giving feature, YouTube creative support, video end screens. I don't know what that is. Can somebody tell me what that is? So this is the this is the message I just got. So I don't know what this means. I mean, I know what it means, but I don't know what it means. Hey, Sup America, we're letting you know that likeness detection feature in your YouTube studio is no longer set up for your channel. This happened due to changes in your eligibility. What? Hold on. If you'd like to learn more about eligibility for the likeness detection feature, blah, blah, blah. We'll delete the brief video of your face you provided during verification, your full legal name, and the face template created to search for your likeness. Why would you do that? It's experimental and isn't available. You got to be 18. Channel permission. Yeah, I already did. What the fuck?
It says that it's an experimental AI-powered feature in YouTube Studio that identifies videos containing a creator space or voice, specifically flagging those altered or generated by AI without consent.
Yes, I definitely want that. Why would you take that away? What the fuck? Really? Of course I want that. Why would I not want that? What the fuck? So hold on, how do I turn on, what's it called again?
Likeness detection.
What the fuck? 18, channel owner, currently for selected YouTube partner members. Open the studioyoutube.com. All right, just bear with me.
If you go to the content detection tab, there's a thing that says likeness.
Hold on the left-hand menu, select content detection. I don't have it. I have content, analytics, community, language, content detection. Okay, there it is. Likeness beta. YouTube can't verify your identity. Try setting up again after February 7th. Why could you could what? Bro, what the fuck? Are you serious? I don't know what that means. Try again after February 7th. Okay, well, I guess on February 7th. Yeah, whatever it is. Anyway, how to use the tool, submit a copyright removal request, how to opt in, go to content likeness, select manage likeness detection, and select stop finding matches. And of course, I can't do it till after February 7th. So this is fucking weird. So does that mean Anyway, whatever. I'll contact them and be like, can you turn that on? What the fuck are we doing here? Anyway, so countdown, Iran. Yep, we're going to upscroll. I'm going to download that tonight. Even though, yes, I know I won't get paid but how do I put this? This is why I'm on YouTube, because in 7 months, because I was on what, like 7 or 8 months this last account on TikTok? If I did that here for 7 or 8 months, it might actually be something. It will have bugs. Oh, okay, SLD. Now I understand. So we now have some news. Trump warns Iran that time is running out for a nuclear deal as U.S. military builds up in the Gulf. Now, obviously, Donald Trump is using that as an excuse to attack Iran because Iran says we will not be doing a deal on the nuclear deal coming up here. Donald Trump needs a reason to attack Iran because they've killed 45,000 people. I saw a guy that was shot in the neck, bleeding out right before this live stream. I saw a baby shot to death with a shotgun. A baby was shot at point blank range in the chest with a shotgun. And that's what this government's doing. So I hope Donald Trump kills every fucking IRGC member. I cannot wait. I want pom-poms and popcorn. Fuck the Iranian government. I know Bush was trying to jerk it off for a long time, but no, fuck these people. The Iranian government deserves every inch of that dick they're going to get. I have seen so many dead bodies. And you say, well, what about Gaza? In a week and a half, Iran did what Israel did in Gaza in 6 months? Right? So I don't give a fuck about that. It's bad enough. But these people are just murdering hundreds and thousands of people for fun. They're playing in it. They're getting off on it. How many protesters can you kill? There was a girl named Tina Noorali. I saw her yesterday. She was helping the wounded. They blew her fucking brains out just for being there. The Iranian government's a clown show. Fuck these assholes. There's Dr. Alizi Galachi, a general surgeon. He was detained by the government for providing care for the patients. They blew his brains out. I could go on. There's thousands of people on X that I could just name the names. But obviously, the Iranian government treats their women like shit. They kill them. They kill teenagers. They rape women to death. They have done that recently. That's one of the punishments that Ayatollah Khomeini said. Be sure to rape her before you kill her so that she can't go to heaven. So fuck the Iranian government. Die slow. I am ready. I am looking at it. I'm on X right now. I'm seeing the bodies. I see the guy bleeding out. It's just as bad of Gaza, if not worse. And I'm going to say coming up, it's going to be worse. I have no compunction of sending the Iranian government to their deaths. Absolutely, quite the opposite. And I hope it happens because the quicker that happens, a Muslim man just blew up. Oh, what is this? A Muslim man just drove his car into a temple in New York. Confirmed terrorist attack at Shabbat headquarters. A Muslim man, possible Muslim man, drove his car into a Shabbat Lubavitch headquarters in Brooklyn. Let me get back to you on that. Because if that's the case, then we have a full fuck about coming on here. Let me get on here and check this out and see if this is real or if this is a bunch of horse shit. This is 11 minutes ago. And the guy's been arrested. Oh, did you hear that? The dude said, you can't park here. Oh, dude. That is fucking, I want to give that guy a 10 out of 10. That dude deserves a star. That is hilarious. Emily, did you hear that? Oh my God. I know it was a possible terrorist attack, and I'm sorry about that. But man, that is, what a winner. Oh man. But other than one news story, there's nothing that's come out on that. So I'll look that up. Give me a minute. It may not be true. It may be bullshit. You got to have humor in darkness or it doesn't work. We'll get back to you with that story coming up here. I'm just going to look that up. Brooklyn. It'd be helpful if I could spell it fucking right. Jesus Christ. We have developing story. Yep, here we are. We got a couple of news agencies breaking this right now. 1 minute ago, this is by Rapid Report, and then 11 minutes ago was another one. A person rammed their vehicle into the entrance of 770 Eastern Parkway, Shabbat headquarters in Brooklyn, New York. So that would be a Jewish temple. A person rammed their car into the headquarters of Brooklyn, New York. Rammed their car. No injuries that I can see yet. Or at least nobody's reporting injuries yet. We have police mobilized. We don't have any ambulance mobilization. 2 police mobilized. And crowd control. And there's a picture of a giant dick. Guess he's from Brooklyn, honey. Interesting. What is this? Brooklyn Park Police said an off-duty officer was boxed in at gunpoint. Agents knocking at her phone when she tried to record. DHS claims to have no record of the encounter. So we'll get back to you more on that story. Potential terrorist attack. Might have been a drunk idiot, too. It is New York City, and it is 9 o'clock at night. So we'll get back to you on that. So far, there's no news on anybody that's injured, dead, dying, maimed, or killed. Take it easy, Allie. Certain people, medical professionals, are now being lambasted on X for claiming or saying that they're going to inject ICE agents and kill them and give them certain things that'll make them be paralyzed. What's up, West Coast? How you doing, social? SoCal. I love Southern California and New York. Who'd have thought, right? And hash. Oh, dude, hash. I'll tell you what, dude. Look at this. Check this out. Now, I don't have any hash, but this company right here, Old School Hash Company, these fucking guys make some great fucking hash right here. This is the old school, just the straight up Old School Hash Company. It comes in these handy dandy little boxes right there, and I can still smell it. Comes with a gram of the best hash, or 2 grams, or you can get a Temple Ball. I like the straight up old blonde hash and the Afghani hash, right? I don't like bubble hash. I know people like it because you can put it in a joint. I like the plant matter in the fucking hash, so I can take the hash, pull it off, smush it into a little patty, giggity, the soft patty, slick patty, and then put in the bowl weed, hash, weed, maybe a little concentrate on the top. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe some bubble hash on the top. Thank you, April. So it melts into that. And so you get that. If you really want a good time, and I know that you're not going to find that anywhere because it's illegal as fuck. Thank you, April. And that's to add some opium to it. But, like, I'd prefer laudanum, frankly speaking. I don't know what's with all this regulation here. Like I said, I'm a social libertarian, so I don't know what's up with all this regulation. I'm fine with laudanum. If I want to be an addict on it, that's my prerogative, as long as you keep selling it. And as long as I don't have some weird, I need KFC gravy fix. What? Oh. You had this look like... Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, hard. And I haven't had it for 20 years. It was, wow. I'll tell you, that was really, that was really the shit right there, man. The opium, man, I'll tell you what. That was when I was in high school, early college. And like, man, but I could understand how that would be. Are you ever humble? Who says I'm not now? I pray and thank God every day. So why are you strawmanning me? You don't know me. Humble doesn't mean not having bravado, sir. You can be humble and not be a pussy. Right? Like Jesus, he was humble, but he also flipped the tables of dickheads over. Yeah, so, well, that's the thing. So if you look at Jesus, you say, well, Jesus was he talked peace and all that. But when he came up against the money changers, he used a whip and flipped their fucking tables over. That sounds like a guy that freaks out. Like he goes in there and he's like, what the fuck is this shit? Without saying so many words. And he's like, money changing in the temple? I'm going to flip your table over and beat the shit out of you. And you're like, well, no, that doesn't sound like Jesus. Like, that sounds exactly like Jesus. No, Jesus would say that that's pharmakia and you can't be doing that. Yeah, of course I'm not Jesus. Absolutely. I'm not that fucking good. Who the fuck are you? Can you hand me the bowl, honey? Yeah, who the fuck are you? What's the plank in your eye, sir? What's the plank in your eye? Do you cuss too much? Did you steal that old woman's clothing? Do you jerk off too much? What's your pleasure? Because I'm sure there's something out there you're doing. Now you can't leave. Exactly. No, you're okay. I'm just fucking with you. I'm not really fucking with you. Just everybody's got their bullshit to bear. I will say, though, that General George Patton did have an orderly that was killed in battle. Can I see your lighter real quick? At the Battle of, was it No, it wasn't Kasserine Pass. It was the other one. How much is too much? Anyway, and you can't be cool. I can be cool. I've got a lot of trauma from past death threats.
And you get a lot of people coming in talking shit, so.
To be fair, yeah, I get a lot of people talking shit because,
They think they know you.
yeah, let me see. And I've like my first like week on here on YouTube when I was doing this, I did like I purposely, and I think some of you remember that. Maybe it was on TikTok. I can't remember what. And I purposely read the Renee Good story, and I purposely read it. And I did not take a position, and I read it. And everybody was talking shit to me, and I did not even take a position. At the end of blocking and talking shit and all this, I stopped and I said, I want everybody to remember, I said, I never took a position, and I had death threats from both sides. And I said, this is the problem with the world. This is partly why I'm not going back to TikTok for politics, because people are so divisive. They have really horrifying. What's up, Clarabelle? What's up, Clarabelle? People are deranged politically. I almost want to call it a mental illness because it's almost like the politics have turned people into like an obsessive compulsive, like a violent obsessive compulsive. It's really odd because trolls take you off and you're going off on them for 5 to 10 minutes. That's true. But then I discovered a comment filter. And I turned that on, and do you guys know what bot farms are? Do you guys know what phone box farms are? Have you guys ever heard of a phone box farm? Right? So it took me a long time to realize what I was actually dealing with. Now, there's obviously people that we talk shit back and forth. And if we're drunk, that's okay. As long as we don't start hitting each other. The phone box farm is a thing about this big, right? This is my weed tray. Thing about this big, okay? And you open it up. You can buy them for like $50. And you get a bunch of old phones. And you put like 40 phones in these. They clip in. And then you attach them to the bottom of your phone with a connection that goes into a motherboard. And what these do is the 50 phones that you put in there are basically emulators it emulates on a computer. You know what an emulator is, right? So you put 50 phones into this phone box farm, and they all go to this motherboard, and it goes into another computer. That computer emulates 30 accounts for each phone. So you have 50 phones times 30 accounts, okay? And so that's a phone box farm. And so you can you can scroll through each phone at your PC. So like I have a laptop right here, and I can sit at a laptop and I can like alt tab between phones in each one of them, and you'll see them in real time, making comments in real time. And you'll have, and it's hilarious how it works, because you have, now it used to be just fake bots that would follow MAGA accounts and fake bots that would follow liberal accounts. And they would yell at each other for engagement on TikTok. So you would have a phone box farm with 1,200, quote, liberal accounts. And then you'd have another one with 1,200 conservative accounts. And all of them are to the point where they can be monetized. And they all go to, like, bank accounts, mostly in Russia, the Middle East, Pakistan, India, and China. A lot of them. Some Vietnam and the Philippines. And so basically what they do is, if you're a conservative streamer, they will use their liberal accounts to make comments so you'll be on a live stream here and somebody will say something totally off the wall politically, and then 30 of you will engage back. Well, that not only helps me, but it helps them as well, because people go to their accounts that agree with the fake comments and all this other shit. They get followed organically, sometimes not anymore. Sometimes phone box farms now just follow other phone box farms. And so it's just an end over end scam. Now what they're doing is they're using people to create AI creators. So you'll have, and I just saw this not 10, 20 minutes before I started on this live stream, where this guy creates 12 blonde MAGA AI influencers. So there's a crowd behind him at a MAGA rally, and she's got a red hat. And if you follow me, I'm MAGA, and blah, blah, blah. So all the MAGA guys, all the older men follow him because she's some MAGA thirst trap, right? And so they look almost 100%. They all look like Sophie Rain or whatever. So these fucking old men, these old 60-year-old men or whatever, follow this fucking thirst trap, and she'll get 20,000, 30,000 followers in a day that get monetized, right? And then they all fucking start banking on it. But then you'll also have these liberal creators that are AI creators. And they're like, follow me. And they're actually, they pretend, they make an AI creator that's a liberal, that's gay, so that other men will follow, and then these other liberal women will follow. And there's a weird scamming culture behind this, right? On both sides, where like they give money. So like I had like 250 impersonation accounts on TikTok. And so what they would do is they would try to tell my followers before I got banned over there to come to their Telegram and their WhatsApp. And my followers would think it was me. One dude, his name was that Midnight dude. Remember him? That talks like this. He had 600,000. He said, "You're a thirst trap for America." Well, I like Australia. I lived in Australia twice. Don't trust me. You know what I'm saying? I like it. But nevertheless, it's political. It's a thirst trap creation. It's political creation. It's simp style creation. And there's, and there's multiple avenues. It's not just like people will reach out to you. I had 330,000 followers on TikTok before I fucking was rudely awakened. And, what's up, Gino? What did he say? He just sent me a message. Un momento, por favor. Another fake account. There's another fake account from my banned account that Gino just sent me. So they're still making fake accounts off my banned account. And it just says Telegram with an air. It's like, so anyway, what they do is in time, when you get larger, but anyway, so let me just tell you this story. This guy had 650,000 followers. He got banned. And I've been talking to him recently off and on. And Jesus is Lord. That's correct, Jay Scott. And he said that there was a woman that was said to, he was dating her for 4 weeks. And they were sending pictures back and forth. It was a fake account.
Upscrolled gained 2 million members in 2 days.
Oh my God. I'm going to Upscrolled. I'm going to Upscrolled. It's on. So by the way, I will be on Upscrolled coming up. I will start putting my news over there. I will be down. They got 2 million downloads in 2 days. Everybody's leaving TikTok. We're going to Upscrolled. We're going to YouTube. So if you're on, fuck goddamn TikTok. 2 million in a day. That's big enough for me. So go over to Upscrolled. Go over to YouTube. If you don't have a YouTube account, leave TikTok. Join YouTube. I'll put my archaeology up here. Fuck, I might start just an archaeology page. Why not, right? Fuck, maybe we'll do that. No, I'll fuck that. I'm putting it here. But nevertheless, come over here. Upscrolled is a new app. That's where everybody's going. They're leaving TikTok. I've been to Jamaica once. I'll tell you what, man. That place is a trip. I went to Montego Bay. So let me tell you this story. So me and my wife, and I'm an anthropologist, so I don't like, I'm the kind of person that generally does not stay on the resort. I'm like, fuck it. I just wander off into space. So it's a new app. So me and my wife flew to Montego Bay. We met a travel agent on the plane named Dilworth Daly. Great guy. So we land in Montego Bay. We're at a place called Toby's Resort, right? Which the connotations of that name I won't even bring up here. Nevertheless, we travel the tourist area. We quickly learn that public transport is subpar, highly poverty-stricken nation, as a lot of the Caribbean is, and Africa, of course. And so we want to rent a car. Okay, so we're American. It's like a $1,500 deposit. We're like, no, absolutely not. We can't afford that. So the whole time we're just getting high in our hotel because they have really good fucking weed. Even concentrates. I haven't been as high, and my wife hasn't been as high as the Jamaican purple from the Eastern Farms. All right, so these concentrates don't get you as high as the fucking Jamaican weed. So I have diamonds here, right? This doesn't get you as high as the Jamaican weed from, like, there's something about it. Don't know. Don't care, but goddamn. So anyway, I call up the travel agent, and I'm like, these people are ripping us off clearly. And he's like, I'll get you a car, $250 for the full week. I'm like, damn. Not even a driver's license. I could have been a fucking murderer. Thank you, Mabel Cat. And he's like, no, my boy is going to show up at your hotel with a car. I'm like, oh, okay. Fascinating. So the dude shows up. It's his own personal vehicle. And he's like, you him? I'm like, yep, you him. And he's like, you got the money? I'm like, here you go. And he's like, have fun. I'll see you in a week. And in Jamaica, they have where you stand by the side of the road and just another car will pick you up for money, like they do in Africa, right? So it's not, they don't have buses in a lot of places. So they just stand here and some civilian's car drives up, you get in, and there you go. So we're like, this is cool. And the dude's like, don't wreck it, whatever. I've driven, on the other side or whatever. I've lived overseas. Doesn't bother me. So we're sitting there driving around, and we go to, is it Ocho Rios first? And we drive up there, fascinating waterfall that, nice, blah, blah, blah. Christopher Columbus's landing site is a bauxite mine. That's insane. Nevertheless, good time there. The waterfalls were great. Dunn River Falls. My hot wife standing there. I'm squeezing her body. Very nice. Anyway, so we go back to the hotel. High as fuck, blah, blah, blah. The next day, we go to Negril. We drive from Montego Bay to Negril. Now, I didn't learn until after I had gotten back. They actually said on a YouTube video, Jamaica's not one of those places you just want to get in a car and start driving around. And we just got in a car and started driving around because I don't give a fuck. But when we were going to Negril, we got stopped at a checkpoint, several of them. And they were like, where are you going? And I'm like, I'm going to Negril from Montego Bay. Step out of the fucking car. I'm like, oh, shit. And they had told me to pop the trunk before, and they were rifling around in it without me standing there. So I've heard horror stories about, shakedowns and shit like that. So he pulls me out and he's like, takes me to the trunk, and there's just a black bag. Now weed is sold in big, like just the black bags. And I'm like, this is a setup. I'm going to have to pay like $500 or whatever. And he's like, what's in the fucking bag? I'm like, I don't know. I got this car from someone else. The typical thing someone would say that's very suspicious. And they take the bag and they dump it out in front of me. And it was like 3 spark plugs. And I was like, oh, thank fucking God. You're not shaking me down. That is fantastic. Made it to Negril. It was like a fucking white, paradise, I guess, there. Because that's...
You forgot to tell them that the 2 cops, one of them had a...
Oh, yeah, one of the cops had a pistol. Yeah, the blue... Yeah, the one had a 38 in his fucking vest right here. So he just had a sidearm right here. And the other dude had a fucking like a 10 gauge or something. And I'm like, Jesus, fuck, dude. Was this Bulgaria? Anyway, so Then I'm like, I'm in Jamaica. So this is before weed was legal anywhere in America. And I'm like, I'm going to grow my own weed. So we took the seeds out of the weed we first bought, and I bought some Jamaican coffee, and I put the seeds in the Jamaican coffee. And then I sealed up the Jamaican coffee because I was going to mail the seeds back to America and grow some of that shit I told you that's like heroin on fucking, like weed heroin. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. So I seal it up. I get it all ready, tie it up, little bow. And we go to the post office, go to the Oh, I'm not on it yet. I'm not on it yet, Vincent. I have to download it still. After this stream, I'm going to download it. So I go, what's up, America? Yeah, the concern, everybody's going to upscroll, man, because the whole thing's, TikTok's filing out. And so I go to the post office with all this, the seeds. And I said, I need to mail this. And I put it down on the counter. And as soon as I put it down on the counter, the coffee busts open in front of the woman. And all the seeds roll out in front of her. And I'm like, oh, that's my bad. Whoopsie. And I'm like, yeah, I look at her and I'm like, I can't ship this, can I? And she's like, no, you can't ship this. She's like, that's a crime. I'm like, well, I'll just be on my way. And we sayonara. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. It was all sealed up. It was like Jesus. It was like I put the weed down and it was the equivalent of someone going with a ketchup packet. Like I put it down and God's like, nope. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, dude, I need the seeds. He's like, you don't need those. Like, you're not. I'm like, come on, man. And they're like, you're going to have to take that off the thing that I'm on. I'm like, I can't do the lip. But goddamn, dude. I was like, I wanted to grow that. I wanted to grow that weed, and I did not get the opportunity to get that purple sticky like I was planning. Oh, it's okay. I was banned from driving. Next stop, Murat Bay or Montego Bay. Dude, just don't buy it at the airport. Dude, I was banned from driving in Italy for a decade, wasn't I?
I think you still are.
Am I still technically banned? Yeah. So, like, when I was in Italy once, like, we were in Pisa, and I got stuck in one of those little narrow, you know, Clark Griswold, fuck your car things. But I had a guy help me out. Anyway, I started driving through a plaza, where people were eating their dinner, and a camera sent me a 300 euro fine, and I just never paid it and told him to suck my dick. And I was technically banned from driving in Italy for, my friend Gito told me I think it expires after like 7 or 10 years. But I was banned from driving in Italy for quite some time for driving through people's lunch.
But you didn't get the ticket until...
Yeah, it was 11 months later, yeah. 13 months later, it was awful. To this day, I wish I would have stuck my arm out and just grabbed a coffee and drank it. Like, just stole some dude's shit. I don't drink coffee, but I would have done it just because. It would have made for an even better experience. But nevertheless, Italy's fun. Italy's fun. I like Italy. If we ever go back, you'll have to wear better shoes because the ground is all marble. Anyway, so we're about to attack Iran. Hopefully that starts shortly. New York City's mayor, Zohran Mamdani, is now wearing a Carhartt jacket with classic letters that say the City of New York. Looking like a Maoist construction worker. Oh. Look, I know Mamdani is a democratic socialist, okay? But there's some things capitalism just isn't going to fix. Like, we have to evolve our stuff. Now, I don't want antiquated socialism because that's stupid. And so is communism. So is fascism or monarchy or they're all old garbage dick sucker governments. And they are terrible. They don't work. Because they were Same profile as this one. Hell yeah, Nana, I'll be over there after this. And so the way I look at it, like most of these governments are antiquated trash. So what do you guys think about Trump accounts? Scott Bessent is saying that the Trump accounts are going to be Trump's legacy. They're kind of like Gerber grow-up plans for MAGA kids, I guess. Is that what it is? President Trump accounts so far, $4 trillion. Big banks and Nicki Minaj, because they're, so like, so I'm a millennial, okay? When do I get anything? The boomers have the money. The kids under me have the money. When do I get anything as a millennial? Am I just the fuck me generation? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Just fuck me? Anyway, megastar Nicki Minaj declared on Wednesday she's probably President Trump's #1 fan, adding that's not going to change. She's sick of hate from the leftists. Welcome to the club. That's the thing. I cannot stand Democrats or Republicans at this point generally. But I definitely see the hate in liberals' hearts, and I see the not caring about the poor in the Republicans' hearts. Minnesota Department of Justice arrests anti-ICE activists for riots, including the Somali bananas and rice woman. Democrats now say that they want to form a wedge between Donald Trump and pro-2A voters. Okay. And Mamdani casts blame on Eric Adams' deficit of $12 billion for budget shortfalls. Amazon is cutting 16,000 corporate jobs. You're going to see a ramp up this year of hellified jobs being taken away. So, I hope you're okay with that. Trump accounts put $3 to $4 trillion of wealth in. Somehow, I'm sure that'll get stolen. Turkey arrests 6 people for spying for Iran. Trump tells Iran make a nuclear deal or be blown up. They're killing a bunch of people. Iowa man stops President Trump at restaurant to pray for him. Okay. Lindsey Graham looks like a fucking fat piece of oh, God. Celebrities, Hollywood hates you. Celebrities lead push to defund ICE, including Ariana Grande and Katy Perry. I can't stand Katy Perry. 7 Rings was okay. But I heard Ariana Grande was a bitch to, what's her name? Jeanette McCurdy. So, let's see who else. She was in Django Unchained. Ooh, oh, Kerry Washington. Ariana Grande shared with her 372 million followers for people to contact their representatives against ICE. Actress Kerry Washington urged her 7.6 million followers to take action against ICE. Likewise, Katy Perry told turn anger into action. That sounds fucked up. Following the death of Alex Pretty, actor John Stamos saying that ICE is cruel. Loving you is easy because you're beautiful. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Ah. Isn't that John Stamos' older brother, Richard Stamos, that sings Loving You on South Park? I'm thinking, sure. Then Patrick Duffy was a leg on Scuzzlebutt. Yeah, remember those? That's old shit. Anyway, Bank of America to match government contributions. Oh, isn't Bank of America so charitable after fucking everybody? Keir Starmer is in Beijing right now. Apple and Google offer dozens of AI-powered Nudify apps. 15-year-old boy disappears in New York City trying to meet a Roblox player. Yikes as fuck. House Democrats say Nazi ICE comparisons are fair, while the right wing says that's not the case. Virginia State Committee passes ban targeting semi-automatic rifles. That's already been ruled on by the Supreme Court, so I don't know how the fuck that's happening. Colorado Democrats to mandate record keeping of gun barrel purchasers, and establishment media focusing on dividing Trump and gun owners and Trump and other people. Of course, that's how you beat people. Yesterday, somebody sprayed water on Ilhan Omar. South Africa boycotts the G20, even though they were told not to show up anyway. So whatever. And Marco Rubio says U.S. is ready to use force to ensure Venezuela's cooperation. Tom Homan is now in Minnesota, and he's freezing his dick off. So that's basically the news right there, ladies and gentlemen, as far as I can tell. We are waiting for Iran to be attacked. I am waiting with bells on because Iran has been murdering young girls for fun. They have killed almost as many people in a week as have died in Palestine. So everybody, please remember that. So what is this? Zohran Mamdani, New Yorkers are in a state of shock. So listen to this. Oh, this poor bastard. He's never going to get ahead. Zohran Mamdani has now announced that the finances of Mayor Eric Adams' office says that New York City is now in the largest fiscal crisis since the Great Recession. He plans on raising taxes on wealthy New Yorkers and profitable companies. Well, best of luck.
So there will not be one single thing that can answer that crisis. It will require us to pursue every single avenue. That means looking inward into savings and efficiencies. That also means raising taxes on the wealthiest New Yorkers and the most profitable corporations. And it means recalibrating the relationship with the state. We are speaking about a fiscal crisis at the scale greater than the Great Recession.
So, Seattle will no longer allow gas water heaters, forcing people to switch to electric. By the way, electric prices are so high. Bullets flying everywhere 5 hours ago in the Iranian city of Mashhad. Bullets hitting people from all angles indiscriminately. Here's a video of people being shot indiscriminately. Random people just being shot by the government. They're just spraying bullets in the crowd. Some people shot in the head, some people shot in the leg, people being carried away. These are Instagram reels that are showing up. I urge everybody. Guy jumped off a bridge. A good Samaritan tried to help. Oh, and 5 hours ago, Spanish scientists have cured pancreatic cancer in rats. Spanish scientists have officially cured pancreatic cancer in laboratory rats. Damn, that is humongous. Would you not say, honey? That is humongous shit. Anyway, but yeah, up scrolled. I'm going, what's up, America? How you guys doing? So in Iran, they're indiscriminately shooting people. We're approaching 50,000 dead, 450 to 500,000 wounded. We've got businessmen shot. Anybody who opposes the government's being murdered. People being shot. Just for being in the area, not even protesting. So the Iranian government deserves to be destroyed. They're killing people in hospitals. They're murdering people in hospitals. So they're finding protesters that are wounded. Like I said earlier, I saw a baby with a shotgun blast to its chest. Here's a man that's been shot 4 times in his leg. And these are people posting. I could show you the dead. I'm not going to tonight, obviously, because it's later, and my kid has school. There's a lot of people being murdered in Iran. And it looks like we need to blow up the Iranian government and allow the protesters to take over and form a government. If you're Islamic, if you're Zoroastrianism, whatever the fuck it is, it doesn't really matter. The Ayatollah Ali Khamenei needs to be removed. And the government, the IRGC, needs to be destroyed immediately. And hopefully, Iran, their dead will not have gone in vain, and they will be watering their tree of liberty with the people that are dead. We have people, you can't imagine. Just look up Iran dead on X, and you can see the pictures of all the people that have died and all the people that were murdered and all the people, construction workers, anybody that the government needs even to live, to do certain things. Babies being murdered. Women particularly, younger women, 17, 18, 19-year-olds, girls that you would call thirst traps on TikTok, all being shot to death on the streets for fun. Some men raping them. One guy I saw murdering a girl with an axe. He was on the street killing her with an axe. He was chopping her in the head with an axe. So these people, these government officials, the IRGC, bunch of rapist pieces of shit. I have absolutely no sympathy for them. And if they all die, I will laugh at their demise and their graves. Fuck them. Anyway, so that's it. I'll let you know. And earlier, coming up here, I'm going to be making an Upscroll account. So that's where everybody's leaving from TikTok. So yeah, developed by a Palestinian Australian. I heard, I didn't know it was Palestinian. I heard it was Australian. They say that they're more into, I'll do so. It'll be something, probably Nana. But I'll check it out here in a second. It'll be interesting. It's supposed to be a TikTok clone anyway. So don't forget to subscribe, share, like, hit the notification button. Oh, follow me on TikTok at Sup America. Over there on TikTok, Sup America. That's my archaeology page. I finally talked shit about Walmart. Fuck them. And yeah, so that's what it is. And I'll also put content. Maybe I'll make the shit on Upscroll and put it over, you know what I mean? Do one of those things. Get back to it on both accounts because fuck TikTok. Yeah, that's how it is. They told me twice now, we're not going to bring your count back. I'm like, well, I even told them, you're being investigated by the state of California for censorship. So, like, you're going to fuck people over into your demise. People hate you now. So, Sal Chu of TikTok, suck my dick. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe.